Hey there, guys. It's your host from the Brett's Review Show. Let's fire up this review. Today's review is of episode 7 of Gamers. Now, after the surprise happy ending of episode 6, it continues on to the following morning, where Amano's on his way to school. And it feels like it's gotten worse. He's getting a lot of attention. People are doing a lot of staring. And even though it might appear that he's being really calm about it, it's also making him be really depressed about it. And he meets Urahara and talks to him. It's like, hey, I think I'm gonna stop putting all this pressure on my fellow classmates. It's like Urahara's like yawns like, well, I'm glad that your reign of terror is over, because you've been getting a lot of attention. And he's like, hey, from what I remember, you're part of this too. Yeah, you're right. I guess I should own up to it. But and then Urahara goes into him with Agri and what's going on between those two. And he's like, I can't think of anything to say because she's with the guy who's now with Tendo. And Amano's like, what? And he's like, really, do you really need me to repeat what I said? Ugh, I'll see you later. And then he misunderstands what's going on. It's like, she likes the guy who's with Tendo? Oh my god, it was like he really is cheating on her. And he's just using this as, to like think cardboard, to hide what's really going on and what he's doing behind the scenes. And it goes from that to Agri and Amano's conversation to their conversation. But I'm getting ahead of myself. And no, fake. Fake. I did not actually hit myself. Fake. Acting. Poorly, but acting. He goes to the bathroom and as he's washing his hands, he's thinks to himself about what him and Urahara had discussed. And as he's walking out, he just, without really looking, just basically runs into Tendo. And there's like, Tendo's the first one to compose herself and say, "Hey, how you doing?" And then, hey, and she notices something. She notices something about Amano that's a little off. It's like, you look a little paler than usual. Is everything okay? And she takes a step forward, and he takes a step back, and he's like, "I'm sorry, but I have to take care of a little something. I'll see you later." Uh, okay. As she watches him run off, and he realizes what he did. He shouldn't have run away from her. They're technically dating now, and and it cuts from that moment to him noticing Chiaki in one of the other rooms. It's like, hey, you, 12 o'clock, come here. So, what do you want? See it, we head or Cuphead, and she, without a doubt, misunderstood the entire scenario, the entire thing. So you could also say that with him and her friendship is more like in Clannad, where Tomoya's friend just completely misunderstands things and just takes what he sees and just reacts to it, whether it's right or wrong. But unlike Tomoya's friend in Clannad, Chiaki doesn't get hit in the face. But with he's like, really? I didn't have any. He's like, why do you think me and Agari are dating? I didn't have anything before I met her. Why the hell would I have anything now? Ugh. And it goes to finally Agari and him are having a conversation, and as he's talking about it, and he's looking through all these emojis that Agari had sent him, and they're all emojis that were most like obviously quite upset, and like even though she says, "Oh, I'm just joking," but still, I'm still upset. She's in the same position that Urahara is in because she has no idea what to say to Urahara because she thinks Urahara is cheating on her, and she was the first one to come up with that. Urahara thought of her cheating on Amano or Amano trying to take her away from him later on, and he's like, "Well, I'm happy for you, but it doesn't help my situation whatsoever." And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, drop the big old bomb, because he's the one who went from asking her to be a friend to go for the jugular and ask would you go out with me? And after that conversation, basically, what you see Amano getting at the end of that conversation between him and Agari is that he should just sack up, man up and just own it, and just go with it and see if it works out or not. And she basically says as well it's up to you. It's what you feel. Just basically what she said in the episode before. It's up to you. It's how you feel, whether you want this relationship or not. And we already know that Amado wants this relationship. Heck, Tendo wanted this relationship at the end of episode 1. or, or at the start of 2. Um, it This anime is so hilarious and so fun to watch. Shut up, phone. Um, he contacts her because Tendo's now on the roof of the school, and she's talking to herself like, "Oh my god, Amano contacted me out of the blue. What is he gonna say? Is he gonna break up with me? It's most likely he's gonna break up with me based off of his reaction or what I've seen yesterday when I met him in the hallway. This and that, yeah. And it's not like she wants that to happen. She doesn't want to break up. She doesn't want that to happen. But and when when Amano shows up and he's like, "Hey, thanks for waiting. Sorry it took so long to get here." And he starts talking, and Tendo goes, "Why don't you just say it? I know you want to break up with me." I mean, all this just popping out the question and having all this pressure up on you. It's not right for you, and then just this all sad, sobby thing. Like, just say it. Just say it that you want to break up with me. Just do it. I understand. Just do it. And because he wanted to know why she wouldn't look at him. She wouldn't look at him at all. She had her back to him the entire time. And until he asked this. After hearing that, and he goes, "Well, I kind of understand that, but yet it feels..." Because one of the things he asked her is if she hated him. And her response was, "No, I don't hate you. You'd have to be pretty dumb if you think that." which is exactly what Amano thought. Amano thought that she didn't like him at all. That the only reason why she was talking to him was because she was being nice, and that gaming was their interest. That they both took interest in gaming, and he says, "Well, I'm quite relieved that you don't hate me, especially for asking that question." And she's like, why would I be? Why would I be? Just, just come out and say it. Like, I know after that whole expression on your face yesterday pretty much pointed out that you want to break up with me. And before this conversation or this conversation between the two of them had happened, Amano had actually thought about breaking up with her because he felt bad that he just came out of the blue and just popped a go out question. But it was what Agri had said, or in other words, repeated, that, set him straight on, because then this is what he really wants. He wants to be with her. He wants a relationship with her. And he wants to get close to her. And you could kind of agree with wanting to be a friend with a person that you're interested in first, so you get to know them on what they like or what they don't like, what their interests are, and this and that, so that you can know that if you choose to take that step forward, if it will work out or not. But in this instant, it's different, where the person who you know darn well has an interest in this person, and in the school chain, he's basically at the bottom and she's at the top, and other guys are obviously jealous of Amano for what happened, and instead, out of all of this, he goes, "Will you go on a date with me? I mean, it could be anytime. We can go anytime you want. It's you know, it's just if it's okay with you, if you have time, because I know you're busy." And then she's just and like, why are you standing in a karate pose? Did Are you upset with what I asked? And it's like, no, I heard everything that you said. I'm not upset with it. It's just, uh, uh, yeah, sure. I'll go on a date. Uh, I think I could find some time. He's like, you gotta follow some rules though. There's gotta be rules. It's like, oh, I understand. I understand. There's gotta be rules. And it's like they all automatically start speaking gaming terms. We're like, oh, we got Call of Duty now. She's the general, and he's the private, and just trying to start. And they're saluting each other like, hey, we're boyfriend and girlfriend now, so we might as well go out on a date. And I'm about to throw. You know what? Phone, get over there. I threw my phone across the room. She's like, wait, why are we saluting each other? Why? I'm his girlfriend. Why? And she starts talking about the date and whatnot. It's like, I have to keep this guy, with arm's reach. I have to stay. Like, do I lower my defenses, or do I stay on guard? I got you know what? I gotta stay on guard. If I let this guy get any closer, I'm gonna lose my mind. And she just runs off, and it goes to Amano, just standing there, still saluting. And then it's like, this is where all the normies go who want to be gamers. They go to a round one, a six-story building with, you got arcade games, you got other games, you've got sports area like bowling, ping pong, darts, and then you got a pool area in one spot, and other games, and they're having fun. It's like, you're like, where do you want to go first? And you remember, like, oh, there's arcade games. We got to go do the. I have no idea. And she can see that he's trying to, take initiative into the date and where they want to go and whatnot. And she's like smiles, and she goes like this, tugs on his sleeve and stops him. He's like, "How about we just walk around? And maybe if we'll find something interesting, have fun." And that's what happened. And while they take a break, to get something to drink, maybe something to eat, um, he's like, "Okay, we went here, and oh, covers the pool, covers the pool part with his hand." And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna like, oh, we should go to this next." We're like, "Okay, let's go to the arcade." Like, she takes a look and goes, "Hey, isn't that a big pool spot area underneath your hand?" And he's like, "Yeah, um, I must have forgot about that one. Um, damn it." And And it's like, "Oh, I see. You just don't want to like, they probably rent swimsuits and all that, so we're good." She was all for it, and he's like, and she goes, she takes a look at him, and it's like he's trying to come up with something to say, and he's like, sounds like he's just mumbling, and he's like, "Oh, so you just don't want to see me in a bikini now, don't you?" He's like, "No, no, it's not that. I want to see you, but I was the one." He's like, "It's okay. It's okay if you don't want to. It's okay." Guess what happens? They end up going to the pool anyway. So he's standing there waiting, and this is just the fun part, because out of this entire anime, you don't actually see any fan service until this episode. And fan service is what would usually be a bit of a trigger for some animes to get a lot of attention, but yet this one they didn't really need it because of everything else that was going on, until I guess you could say with the other character besides Tendo, that's in her gaming club. She you can say there's a bit of fan service there, but just a little bit, just not a whole lot, just a bit, because that character is what you could say hotter than Tendo. Tendo's cuter, but she's hotter. And I'm probably gonna get crap for that, but that's okay. Um, Tendo finally comes out, and what Amano says is, I mean, in the dub version, is inappropriate, so I'm not gonna repeat it. And he ends up saying that you look beautiful, you look really good. But he's not good at generic compliments, and that's what's funny. I guess to me, it's funny. He's like, I was like, I don't want to ruin it with a generic comment, and she's like, well, at least give me one. And gosh, I can't remember what he said, but he said something. Oh, great, yeah, ooh, you did great there. Eh, she didn't really like that, all that what he said after that, but and then they notice a couple splashing each other, having fun in the pool, splashing each other back and forth, and she comes up with a plan. It's like, "Hey, you want to do that?" "Yeah, sure, it's fun." "You know what? Let's make a game out of it." So there's like how easily you can take something like this and turn it into a game, like a competition. So it's turn based. It's turn based. One turn. This one person goes, wait, this person goes. Turn based. First one to get the other one's hair wet wins. And he's like, "You're on." But, and deep back in his mind, he's like, "Well, Tendo must have control issues." Just a bit. But she is trying to make this a little bit less awkward and difficult on Amano. so he's not trying to struggle so much, trying to make it at least entertaining to have fun. And they're like, "All right, I'm gonna go first." Fan service, and she splashes him. He dodges. He's like, "I'm gonna wait till the last minute. I'm gonna wait her in. I'm gonna lead her in, and then I'm gonna get her." And he's like, "All right, ready, go." And she just dodges elegantly, and he's like, "Oh no!" It's like, I, oh no, evasive maneuvers. Still gets wet. He doesn't move. He just sits there and just stands there and just takes it. And he's like, he falls to his knees and is like, "I lost. Ha 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 ha! I am victorious." And then they hear laughter from the couple that they got the idea to do that from, and acting a little bit more lovey-dovey than what they had thought out to be, because you gotta think about it, both of them are actually quite beginners when it comes to relationships or dating in general, so they're not going to be all over each other. They're going to keep each other at arm's length at the most, and they're going to be a little bit. They're going to see something like that as like really awkward, gross. Because one of Tendo's comments was like, "I think I threw up in my mouth while they stared at it." I was like, maybe we should go to the arcade now. Yeah, good idea. But they notice Chiaki. Chiaki's at the pool as well, and she looks pretty darn cute as well in a bikini. Um, Two guys were walking up to her, getting all up in her grill, and like, "Hey, how about you come have some fun with us?" You know what I mean? And she had no interest whatsoever. And she sees Amano and Tendo, and she immediately goes after Amano, and she's like, "Keita," and she basically goes second base with Keita's elbow. And you're using Keita's elbow, and Keita's not liking it. And he's like, "Hey, I'm technically on a date with the person who's I am her boyfriend. Hello." And she's like, "Oh, I noticed Kentendo right away," and all this and that. It's like she just didn't care at that moment. She just wanted to fake being in a relationship, actually fake being Amano's girlfriend, so those two guys would give up and walk away. And they do. They do give up. And she still has a hold of Amano's arm until Tendo it's like, "Hey, it's nice to meet you, Chiaki. Let go of his arm." And they both freak out. They have this moment where both of them take a huge step back after seeing Tendo show a bit of jealousy, and which is adorable in my eyes, in my opinion. And they sit down and talk. As like Chiaki's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be a third wheel." Um, she explains that her little sister really wanted to go, and they came down here, but at some point they ended up getting lost or getting separated, and they can't seem to find each other. She's worried about her little sister, and Tendo's like, "Well, you know what? We'll help you find her, or I'll help you find her." And she's like, "Oh, that'll be great. Thank you so much." But then she's like, needs all turns to Amano, look for some reassurance, and have this blushing moment of reinsurement and uh, or whatever to reinsure her. And Amano's like, "Yeah, I'll help you. I'll help too. I don't mind. It's not like I have anywhere else to go." And Tendo puts a stop to that right now. Boom. Nope. Amano's not going. Amano is going to go to the stand outside the arcade and wait. And he immediately goes, "Yes, sir. I'll do that, sir." And it's like, march. Yes, sir. And even Chiaki's like, wow, you guys must have either have that or that close a relationship or have that kind of relationship. I never thought of that. Ugh. And yes, of course, Amano is standing outside the arcade, his head down, standing there waiting, and she goes like, oh, we're back, hello, like, thanks for waiting. And he sees Chiaki still with him, or with her, and Chiaki grabs her arm around Mano and says, "Hey, you know what you need to do? You need to do something good for your girlfriend. Make her, like a competition. Do something for her. Make her happy." And it's like, I don't understand. Like, you shoot. And it's like kind of like, why are you touching me? Stop touching me. I don't understand what you mean. Just stop touching me. Shoot. And it's like they're not doing that in like a total mean way, because everybody's got a friend like that, or like a friend like that. And even though you might say, "Hey, well, I know we're enemies and everything," but you just do this good thing. I'm trying to help you out here. You're like, I'm throwing you some bones. You gotta take one of them. Make it rain. And Tendo immediately like hears competition. Like, did you say competition? Let's do that. So they play something that you can take. You can take as an example, such as Mario Kart, and they each are sitting there. Like, you got Tendo, you got Amano sitting in the middle, and you got Chiaki sitting on the right on the other side. And this one, and this game's like there's no winner until the last one crosses the finish line. Like, it's not decided until the very end. And it's like, all right. And just like Mario Kart, you get items. But one of the items that you can use against your opponents or benefit yourself, that I don't remember ever being in Mario Kart unless they added it in there, is called weapon or bomb roulette. And this has like a slim chance of either blowing you up or your opponents up. And it didn't go well with Amano. And looks like a close race. Amano's right there, Tendo's right there, Chiaki's right there, and it's the last stretch, the final lap, and it's just getting right to the end, and these other little kids are in the background, and they're watching and having fun, and he goes, you know what? He looks at Tendo, he looks at Chiaki, or looks at Chiaki and looks at Tendo, and it's time for bomb roulette. And then you see Amano's car blow up, and he lost. And it's just, and it goes from that to Amano and Tendo sitting alone together in the back of a bus, and they're making their way home. It's the end of the day, and it's moments like this that you should like treasure, especially for people who are just getting into dating, and just being able to sit there and have fun and have a conversation and have this kind of a moment like Amano and Tendo had at this moment for their very first date. And she's looking out the window, and she's just very doing everything she can to stop laughing, or to try not to laugh, and she ends up laughing. It's like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. But the look on your face after your loss, I didn't really expect you to unleash bomb roulette on us at the very end. I was like, what, you're not mad at me? He's like, no, I'm not mad at you at all. that was pretty gutsy of you. It was like, well, I like I like how you're hard on me, and you don't let up, and that's what makes you special. That's what makes you unique. And her compliment toward Amano was like, you know what? You make gaming fun, and that's what I like. That's what I like about you. You know, I like that. And after I think I'm pretty sure I can't remember exactly what he says, but he says something else that gets her to take a like gasp. Besides saying what I had mentioned earlier, and he asked her about a game that had just come out. I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I hi. He just, oh my gosh, yes, I've been playing. Like, do you play it? Like, she just kept on rambling. Do you play classic or casual? I always play classic, but you should just constant goes right into the game, right in the gaming, and it's just something like this. Like if you take interest in something and someone else does, and especially something like this, you can easily go back to it to go from this special moment to back to it having a fun, engaging conversation about a game, whether you like it or not, or whether you play casual, classic, or like what, or hard or whatever. Just just to go back to have fun and play. And I like the fact that they incorporate gaming terms into situations like this, whether they take things like this and turn it into a game, a bit of competition between the characters, and besides all the misunderstanding, all the rambling that goes on, that's completely blown out of context. Like, or not context, blown out of proportion, like with Chiaki and Urahara and Agari and all that. Anyway, episode 7 gets an 8.5 out of 10. So I want to thank you guys for watching. That's all I have for you today. So it's time to cool down and look forward for the next review. Peace.